What's up everybody, this is Sheriff the Worker and today my guest is Shahin, owner, founder and the lead lawyer of Shahin Law.
Thank you, Sheriff, for introduction. Welcome to my office.
Yeah.
I am very happy to host you and your team in my office again.
We are neighbors on the same floor, looking to different views in the office. And today we have a super subject. I'm sure many of the investors are struggling and the tenants are struggling as well. Tenants and the owner issues.
I can say that this is a social problem in Turkey, the dispute between tenants and the landlords.
Mm-hmm.
This is because of the inflation, this hyperinflation in Turkey. The rents increased 2-3 times for the last 1 year. Therefore, the landlords ask more rent payments. The tenants don't want to pay much more rent. Therefore, this creates a dispute between tenants and the landlords. And especially in Turkey for the last couple of years, you know as well, the foreign people are in the flats as tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, they don't know Turkish legislation, Turkish law. But everybody should know that the Turkish legal system protects the tenants.
Mm-hmm.
The landlords don't have a termination right without a reason specified in the legislation. For example, you have a 1-year contract, you don't have to leave your flat at the end of 1 year. The tenant can stay as long as the payments are in order and also there is no other specified reason in the legislation. Therefore, I can say that finally the legislation protects the tenants.
This is one of the biggest misunderstandings. We always make the contracts 1 year and the owners or foreign investors are mostly on the owner side. They think that after 1 year they can evacuate the apartment from tenant and they should leave it. But the contract is from the general law, it says it's valid until 10 years.
Yeah, the termination of 1 year period doesn't give the landlord to terminate the contract, but it gives a right to tenant to leave the contract at the end of this termination period.
The owner can ask after 5 years the termination of the rent out of the standard increase rates.
Yes, after 5 years from the first day of the rent agreement, landlords can ask tenant to pay as market value. If they don't come to an agreement with that, the landlord can go to the court to determine the market value of the flat.
I am sure the people who will watch this video is the mostly foreign tenants and the owners, and possibly that Turkish owners, and if there is a foreign tenant, they are pushing foreign tenant that he doesn't know the law, try to make out of the law increase.
Yeah, because foreign tenants is in another country, maybe cannot speak Turkish,
yes.
Don't know the Turkish legal system. Therefore, this advantage of the tenant is used by the owners or landlords.
So this video will be so informative for them as well?
Yeah, the tenants should know that Turkish legal system protects the tenants. The landlords can ask the tenant to leave the apartment upon the reasons specified in the legislation.
So what is the maximum increase rate with the law now?
According to the Turkish legal system, the rent can be increased according to consumer price index. This is the maximum amount. Even if the rent agreement regulates another provision, the rents can be increased up to consumer price index.
And last 1 year there is additional...
This is the main rule, but in June a new legislation is published by the government. For 1 year until the next year, this rent increase is limited to 25%. But this limitation is only for homes, not for office or commercial places.
Let's say owner is changed. Can the owner ask tenant to leave the apartment, the new owner?
Yeah, this also is regulated by law. If the owner is changed, the new owner inform the tenant his needs on these flats, and in 1 month, after the title transfer, with the documentation, new title deed, new bank accounts, inform tenant, I need this flat and you have to leave this flat up to 6 months. This is a specified reason
to open on the court case.
Open a court case. If after 6 years, if the tenant is still in the place, the owner can go to court and ask for the court to terminate the contract.
So if they follow the court case, possibly it will take 2-3 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of
the load.
Yeah, because of the workload of the courts, this kind of cases last 3 years, 4 years. So therefore, nobody wants to go to court because of these long judgment periods.
So thank you for today, giving us these informations. So informative for the tenants and the owners about their laws. If people who is watching this video, if you have any questions on your mind, please comment under the video and I will ask to Murat Sayın and he will answer directly from the comments.
Thank you very much for coming to my office. Happy to see you again.
See you on the next episode.